is Chris, and I'm Cindy, and this is our Salty Dog Trooper and our Salty Kitty Stella, and we've got some salty tales to tell you. So make sure you continue watching and also click that subscribe button so you don't miss any in the future. We wanted to do something a little different, and we are going to give you the top 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy a boat. And we're not saying that you shouldn't buy a boat, but these are top 5 reasons that you want to make sure you're ready for a boat. So number 1 is it's expensive.
It sure is.
Will you stop? So the fuel is expensive, like very expensive. It's just going to cost more than you think. Repairs. If you can do them yourself, you can save a lot of money, but it's still going to cost money for the parts. And
if you shop around, around for parts, and sometimes if you don't know, you're trying to get engine parts for your boat, it's not like when you go to places where you can buy parts, where you just give them your year and vehicle and blah, 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 and then they give you exactly the part that you need. They look it right up. You have to do a lot of the research yourself. And that is not really great information out there. So it's good to kind of know so you can kind of bridge the gap to learn the stuff so you can shop it properly.
But another way that you can save a little money is a lot of the times you can buy auto engine parts for boat engines.
That is true.
Not always, but you can sometimes. So. But then for expenses, there's also like your registration. And if you're in a state that you have to pay taxes like we are, because they tax you when you buy it and they tax you to own it every year. It's awesome. And then if you're at a marina, they require you to have like full coverage insurance. But even if you're not at a marina, you're going to want to put liability on your boat if it's valuable enough to need that. So there's that cost too. And then if you keep it at a marina, there's the slip fees. We don't even want to tell you what we pay.
Yeah.
We get 4 months a year of boating, good boating, like 4 to 5 months a year. And our slip fees are ridiculous. And then over the winter, because we live in New England, we have to pay to store it. That's not included in your slip fees. If you decide that you want a small boat that you trailer, you have to buy the trailer, and then you have to insure the trailer, and you have to pay taxes on the trailer. So, and then you have to maintain the trailer. But that's a whole nother. Yeah. So it's, there's all of those expenses, and you need to take that into consideration when you're going into it. If you're not handy, then you need an open checkbook because you're going to get like robbed with mechanical charges and fees. It's just not good because boats will break down.
Well, if you're starting off and you just want to get on the water, you can buy a decent, cheap boat, and you don't need anything elaborate just to get out there and go. You just go out there, and it's actually, if you stay small, you can kind of do it cheap and have it not break you. But it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like we pay a lot for our marina, but we also have a lot of benefits being at our marina.
It is a resort. It is.
Like because we get a lot of money off fuel. So that's one thing.
We get the fuel at their cost, and I didn't think it was really their cost, but I do think it is now because it's cheap.
And we're kind of looking to leave our marina, and then we kind of did the math, and if we went to a different place, we'd be trading off costs to go to a place that's maybe not as nice. So
yeah, and our marina gives us like free slips at any of their marinas, so there's benefits. But number 2 reason not to buy a boat.
They require more maintenance than you think.
Mm-hmm.
So a boat, at the risk of offending anybody, we often say it's like being in an abusive relationship. That's fun. You are always working on a boat. There's always something broken, and you always are fixing stuff. You're finding problems. You fix a problem, a new problem comes up. With that said, you want to stay on top of it. Every boat we get, we try to jump on and take care of everything that's broken, because we learn that you just don't let that, because that stacks up fast. Yeah. Don't let that simmer. Before you know it, it's overwhelming for you. So
yeah. So each year you want to maintain the hull. You want to buff it. You want to wax it. You want to check your bottom paint, make sure that that's good. You don't want growth on the bottom. You want to make sure the props are, working right.
And check your zincs.
And, replace your zincs if especially like our marina, we have a lot of wear on our zincs in our marina. Which
because a lot of times in marinas there's stray current in it. There's already current in water. And that's fresh water. A lot of people say none in fresh water. That's not true. And unless it's distilled water, you always have some sort of stray current. So your zincs in a marina will probably take more of a beating than if you're on like on an anchor or you trailer your boat. But you want to just stay on top of it. And then if you have inboards and inboard outboards, and some straight up outboards, they have this thing called a Mercathode system, which helps protect your boat too. A lot of people don't know or understand that. You want to make sure that's working. Check your strainers.
Yeah, clean your strainers. And then you got to maintain like your mechanical stuff, like oil changes.
Fuel filters.
Yeah, other normal maintenance. So think about the maintenance that you do on a car. You need to do all that. And a lot of maintenance that you would do on a house, like making sure your smoke detectors work and your carbon monoxide detector and your fans and all of that. So Trooper is not leaving the cat alone. Trooper! No.
Yeah, a lot of times you're like, well, does that really matter? Just follow the maintenance schedule.
Yeah, it
Whatever
does
it is,
matter.
Just follow it. Because even I do all the work myself. And if I just imagine if I don't follow the maintenance schedule, it'll cost me a lot more money in the long run. So just stay on the maintenance schedule. So my dad, shout out Greg Jordan. Woo, woo.
That's Captain Papa.
Yeah. He always told me to use your senses. So all the time, use your senses. Look, listen, smell, sometimes taste, believe it or not. Trying to see if salt water's in something. But use your senses. Always do an engine room check before you go. Always be paying attention to sounds the boat's making and all that other stuff. So,
engine room check. That's I gotta tell you, I always think, can't we just skip this? I want to get going. But now that I've been helping Chris work on our what we call the baby sea rig, I appreciate everything he's done to maintain our boats, and I don't want to ever have to do more work than we have to. So we do the engine room checks. I actually remind him, like, did you do the engine room check?
Yeah. Check the oils, check the transmission levels, check the coolant levels, check the sea strainers, just check, just because that's all your stuff that's going to prevent you from getting in trouble. You got a clogged strainer. Well, now that's keeping your raw water side from cooling your coolant side, and then the boat overheats, and boom, you're done.
Number 3 is they can break down.
They will break down.
They will break down.
So
the boat will break down. They can and they will, and it will be at the worst moment. It'll be like when you have all your friends ready to go out for the 4th of July, that boat is going to die on you, and it's going to be awful. Even if it's a brand new boat, you're still going to have problems, and you're probably thinking, no, that's crazy. Well, no, I'm serious. Like, I don't know if any of you watch Tula's Endless Summer, but it's this young sailing couple that bought a brand new catamaran, and for the past year, they've had nothing but projects to do on it. Projects on a brand new boat. So they will break down. And like
serious stuff like motor mount, hold down anchors, fasteners broke.
Yeah.
That would be like something that happens year 30 of your boat ownership.
So you want to make sure that you stay on the maintenance to help prevent things from going awry, and then also get a tow membership to one of the tow companies, whether it's Sea Tow or Boats US. We don't recommend our Boats US in our area, but they're franchise owned and it's just that one owner. But Sea Tow, Boats US, or whatever you have in your area, and then make sure you have a good VHF radio that works. We didn't have that in our first 2 boats. I don't think we had VHF, but we also didn't leave really close to the shoreline, so we had active cell phone service. But now that I know what I know, and we've boated so much more, you should always at least have a handheld VHF, because if your cell service isn't working and you break down, you're just waiting, and you can wait a long time if you're not where other boaters are boating. So you want to make sure you have all that situated, taken care of. All right. So number 4, they cause stress. They will cause stress no matter how well you handle it. And we handle the stress so much better now. But when we were younger and we had the kids, we didn't handle the stress good. We were that couple at the boat launch that people were filming and watching because it was bad. And when boats break down or cause problems, they cause a lot of stress. When you're docking your boat or launching on the boat launch or pulling it out, they cause a lot of stress. It will put your relationship to a test. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you own the boat together, it'll put your relationship to a test. And it can be bad. And there is a saying, like, what we say when we're docking the boat doesn't count. And
I mean, we started off that way, but
yeah.
eventually, because we had one boat that was trailerable, and we started that, and as we got used to it, it almost got to the point where we didn't even talk. You just knew what to do.
But it was still stressful. I used to dread having to launch the boat. I used to dread it. And even docking the boat, I would catch myself holding my breath, but I don't anymore. We are so chill about it because here's the thing. It's a possession. It's a thing. And it's not worth losing your mind over and causing yourself to have a stroke.
And I will say, to help alleviate the stress, now there's a lot of YouTube videos out on how to drive boats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I just found a guy that does videos with toy boats on fake docks, and that I'm like, oh my god,
that's handy. But we'll say at the end of the day, because we got a couple people that ask us, tips on how to drive the boat, because we got experience and halfway decent at it. So a lot of people ask, and I just say, go out to if you're new to boating, you're trying to figure it out, or even if you get a new boat. You've been driving a single engine boat for years, now you got a dual engine boat. Just take the thing somewhere where it doesn't matter, to a buoy, like out in the water, and practice different situations. And that way, because I will say at the end of the day, that's what works the best, is figuring out how the boat reacts to different things.
I need to do that because I've only driven our new boat once. So
I told her she's going to dock it, but she...
Oh no, I'll learn, but I need to learn on a buoy first, and maybe then I'll try to dock it because I'm a little scared to do that, but I'll learn. Another thing is take a safe boating course so you at least know the rules of the water, so you feel more comfortable at least going out. That's, even if it's not required in your state, I think it's a good idea. We actually took it when Anthony was like 8 when we took it, and he took the class with us, and the guy signed off and gave him a personal watercraft license at 8 years old. That kid was able to drive his own jet ski. It was awesome. Number 5, they can take up a lot of time in a good and a bad way. They can be really time consuming because of the maintenance required, the repairs, the research to find the parts, doing all that. It's very time consuming, but in a good way. It provides you a lot of entertainment instead of sitting around. We're going to do a whole top 5 why you should buy a boat. We just wanted to do, there's some cons to buying a boat, and
that's a lot of time. Like we mentioned, it's like being in an abusive relationship. It's like tons of work, hours and hours and hours of work, and you definitely work. You tend to, well, unless you're one of those guys who is loaded and you just pay somebody to do everything.
Well,
you are doing.
Good luck finding somebody to do everything.
That's another part too. But you end up working on it probably more than you use it. But I'm here to tell you, when you're out there, nothing beats it.
Yeah. So we will do next week a top 5 reasons why you should buy a boat. And I'm really excited about that one because they're going to be like all the reasons that we love having a boat. But we just released a video last week to kind of give you a little update on the baby Sea Ray. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have the latest update for you guys. So make sure that you subscribe, and if you want notifications, turn that on so you can keep following the updates on our boats. And you get to see Chris.
Oh boy. Now there's something you don't want to miss. But I mean, we just went through reasons why not to boat. not to buy
We're
a
going to
boat.
do the top 5 why you should boat. It'll be next week.
End of the day, can't take it with you. Go for it.
Or don't. If you're thinking those top 5 reasons sound like, I don't know, it doesn't sound like it's for me, then find something else to have fun with. Right? We love having our boat.
You do have to weigh that out. I will say this. Do you want to be on your deathbed and say, oh, I wish I had a boat? Or do you want to say, I'm glad I didn't buy a boat because I did this instead? Whatever works for you.
Yeah. I thought only rich people bought boats, like growing up. That's literally what I thought. And then after my dad passed away, I was like, you know what? He had been wanting a boat because he went out with a buddy on a boat. And I was like, you know what? Do you still want that boat? Let's go get a boat. And we took $800 out of an ATM and bought our first boat.
Oh, yeah. And then we get the boat. Yeah, we kind of figured it out. Yeah, this is great. And we had a friend of ours drive us around to get used to driving a boat. We're like, yay. And there was one night we're like, hey, let's take it out in the sound and have dinner. So there we go ripping around, and the sun starts going down, we're floating around. Yay, we got our boat in this great family. And all of a sudden I was like, this is an $800 boat in the middle of the sound. We need to get the heck back in it.
That boat was a gem, and she was a good boat. All right, well, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe, like this video, leave us a comment. Please, please, please leave us a comment. We encourage good, bad, just don't be nasty. We like hearing from all of you, and if you have some good feedback, let us know. And by liking and subscribing and leaving comments, it helps us with our channel. So we appreciate you all. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Sorry, I look weird on YouTube.
Yeah, but so this is wider.
I'm wider.
No. So, okay. I looked at that light and now I can't see.
Where'd you go? I did too now.
All right. Oh, I love you too, weirdo. Don't forget your guys at work are going to watch this.
I don't think they could think any lesser of me.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.